We now live in the view of Christ's death and resurrection. The lengths that God was willing to go for us, for our sake, for positive change in the world. Life-changing change. Life-altering change. Don't want to change and change back to back. Anyway, I turn to Matthew chapter 10. Kind of touching what we teased a little bit yesterday, but what's ahead for the church? Jesus spoke quite openly by having this faith, by standing up for God's way that often goes against the way our world works. It's broken, but there are those who are profiting off this brokenness. They don't want that change, even though it would be best for all people, right? The gospel of Jesus, a radical love for all and care for all, sometimes is tough news, and it won't always be received well. As we see in the book of Acts too, the church is persecuted from the onset. And so, I'm just going to go ahead and read a large section of Matthew 10, 16 through 39, because Jesus' words are better than mine. This is what our God says. Oh, sorry. And by 19, I meant 16. See, I am sending you out like sheep in the midst of wolves. So be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. Beware of them, for they will hand you over to councils and flog you in their synagogues. You will be dragged before governors and kings because of me, as a testimony to them and the Gentiles. When they hand you over, do not worry about how you are to speak or what you are to say. For what you are to say, will be given to you at that time. For it is not you who speak, but the Spirit of your Father speaking through you. I must say, at this point, by the way, the hand over, this is the action, this handing over. Jesus is handed over to the authorities. Jesus is handed over to death. When Jesus gives up his spirit on the cross, right? He gives up his spirit. The better translation would probably be Jesus hands over his spirit. This is a divine action. And so, yes, this idea that when we are handed over, God is still at work. Continuing. Brother will betray brother to death, and a father their child. Children will rise against parents and have them put to death. You will be hated by all because of my name, but the one who endures to the end will be saved. When they persecute you in one town, flee to the next. For truly I tell you, you will not have gone through all the towns of Israel before the Son of Humanity comes. The disciple is not above the teacher, nor slave above the master. It is enough for the disciple to be like the teacher, and the slave like the master. If they called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more will they malign of those of his household? So have no fear of them, for nothing is covered up that will not be uncovered. The truth will come out. And nothing that is secret that will not become known. What I say to you in the dark, tell in the light. And what you hear whispered, proclaim to the house from the housetops. Do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather fear those who can destroy both soul and body. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one of them will not fall to the ground apart from your Father. Even the hairs on your head are all counted. So do not be afraid. You are more valuable than many sparrows. And right in this section too, it's important to say, right? Jesus is saying there's something more important than our earthly bodies, right? There's something more important than what the materials we have, the reputations we worry about, the social status perhaps, the clubs we're a part of, the circles we run in. In the end, those aren't that important. At the end of your life, what did Grandpa and Grandma do with their life, or Grandma, whatever. What did they do with their life? It's not like, well, they were in a bunch of clubs. No. What meaningful change did they make? What positive did they bring to this world? That's what matters, right? And this is how God sees it too. God doesn't care what kind of car you drive. God doesn't care, what status you have among earth. God cares what you're doing with those things. God cares how you're loving God and loving neighbor, making a difference. Continuing. Everyone, therefore, who acknowledges me before others, I will acknowledge before my Father in heaven. But whoever denies me before others, I will also deny before my Father in heaven. Do not think that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. I think that's a good place to stop, right? The word of God is risky. It's a sharp sword, right? It is, it's life-changing. But like I said, there sometimes will be resistance to that. But we don't live focused on our life. As Christians, we focused on the one who died for all. And intentionally, I'm going to let all of this sit. This is a passage in Matthew that upsets a lot of people because it is hard. And I'm intentionally going to let that, I'm not going to explain it away. I want you to sit in that tension. I want you to think about what it is, cut through, if you will, the sword, of what it is that really matters to you. The changes in the world you want to see, and how are you making it happen? I'm here for you if you need me. I'll see you tomorrow as we continue a very important topic this week. God bless you.